This is the review for The Flash 2023 by Warner Brothers Studios. So I've never done a movie review before, but I wanted to do a movie review on this one, even though a lot of people had their own opinions of the movie. I wanted to give like a fresh perspective. I guess I'll start it with I used to be a comic lover, like really fucking hardcore. Um, DC Comics, Marvel Comics, and that was pretty much my go-to. Now, there's variant comics, there's Dark Horse, and there's a lot of other ones. Um, this is my first review video, so I'm pretty sure there's gonna be more in the near future, but let's just start with The Flash 2023. So, here's how I'm gonna break it down. The start, the middle, and the end. Very plain and simple. So for the start of the movie, I had already watched reviews on it, like multiple, because I wasn't really planning on seeing this movie because of the allegations and stuff with Ezra Miller and yada 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 yada. I mean, I wasn't really interested in the Justice League that much. I think the only scene that was good from Zack Snyder's Justice League, other than the, what's it called? The Red Hood reference, was Barry Allen's, as you can see, I don't really know much about the Flash, but but I think it was Barry Allen's slow-mo scene with Iris West. So I'll get into Iris West and yada yada, all that other stuff later, but I wasn't really expecting much out of this movie. People said that the CGI was bad, and I'm here to report that, from the very start of this movie, you could tell that it's severely downgraded, I guess I would say. Like, it's definitely noticeable in some shots. But, I wanted to stick through it for, just being a comic lover and stuff like that. And, I mean, I grew up with Wally West, in Justice League and Justice League Unlimited. So that is forever going to be my Flash, Wally West. Okay? Like, for real. 2000 to 2004, Wally West. So that's my Flash. But anyway, Barry Allen, let's let's do this. As the Flash, I don't really think, the actor Ezra Miller is honestly that bad as the Flash. I mean, he's the Flash, he's not really one of my superheroes that I would go to and be like, oh yeah, like a certain actor is supposed to play him. So let me get to that. Barry Allen, I mean, he's a generic Flash in my opinion. I mean, like, that's the Flash that everybody knows. I think the way he's portrayed, to be honest with you, I mean, I don't hate Ezra Miller's portrayal of him, but I feel like in certain scenes the DCU is trying to be like the MCU, and it just didn't work. Like in Justice League, and I will do a review like to Justice League. I saw Justice League a while ago, the Joss Whedon version, which is the original version that came out. Well, the cut version, depending on who you ask, but it was the original theoretical version that came out in 2017 when I got out of high school. I'll do a review to that. But anyway, I feel like, the DCEU is trying to take a page from, Marvel 2009 through 2018, it's just it doesn't work in their favor. I mean, it's funny at some points. I did laugh at some points. But I think, towards the beginning, I was more just interested in how they were going to tell this story. And dude, let me just get straight to the point. The start, okay, had me interested. It it had me interested. I kind of had the little butterflies in my stomach and kind of felt like a kid again. With superhero movies, and then focusing on one hero, that type of thing. And I was pretty like, I was just glad that, a superhero movie started like a superhero movie. But then there's the middle. So if you guys haven't seen The Flash and you want to see it, it's on HBO Max. And I'm pretty sure you can get it on digital download through Apple TV, Google Play, Google Play Store, or Amazon Prime, like the three main ones. But anyway, I'm gonna start the middle of this review, and it's spoiler alert. So in the middle, like towards the middle of the movie, well, at the beginning of the middle, it's kind of confusing with how the movie starts. But anyway, Barry Allen, for some reason, wants to save his mother. So in Justice League, which is probably going to be my next review now because I keep bringing it up, in Justice League, the movie, we know a little bit about his mother. So let's just say Justice League, the movie 2017, and then we'll just say Justice League, Z or S for Snyder Cut. So in Justice League, the original, in Justice League, the movie, like we know a little bit of, Barry Allen's background with his mom and his dad in jail, yada, yada, yada. Now, I'm not a Flash super fan, so I don't really know the lore on this, but I would say, like, from a storyline perspective, we don't really know who his mom is. Okay? We know that his mom died, and that was pretty much it, and that he loves his mom. So, at the beginning of the middle of the movie, we find out that Barry Allen, can somehow access the Speed Force without it being brought up in Justice League, Z, or Justice League Snyder Cut, or the original theoretical version of the Justice League. Okay, so now I'm definitely doing a, review on the Justice League. And before anybody asks in the comments or just ask period, I'm not going to do a full review of the Snyder Cut because there's multiple reviews you can see on that. It's not that I don't like the Snyder Cut. I'm not like watching a 4-hour movie again. That was a little bit nuts. Okay, but anyway, the middle of the movie, let's get back to this review. The middle of the movie, we find out that, Flash, Barry Allen, can somehow access the Speed Force. And, I would consider him a new Justice League member. Based on the movie lore, I know people are going to hate me and want to, cut me up, but based on the movie lore, based on what we got from the DCEU, he's kind of like the younger version of this Justice League group. We have Aquaman, we have, Wonder Woman. They both make appearances. We have Batman that makes an appearance. And that's pretty much our Justice League for the DCEU. So, yeah, But anyway, the middle goes like this. Barry Allen figures out that he can use the Speed Force without it ever being referenced in the DCEU timeline. Okay? that he can somehow access this Speed Force. So I guess, from the timeline of the Justice League to, well, let me. I'm not even gonna get into Batman versus Superman because that just brought up a thought. There might be an extension to this, movie review, but I might as well just do Batman versus Superman, like a small version. But anyway, back to this one. We find out that he can somehow access the Speed Force Barry Allen without it being previously brought up in any of the other DCEU movies. So, I mean, for me, I kind of just went like, okay, I guess that's cool. And luckily, I had watched the Flash TV show with Grant Gustin and not really watched it all the way through. I watched it basically for Reverse Flash, which is one of my favorite villains of all time. Same with Lex Luthor. And then I would say probably Darkseid. Okay, top 3 DC villains of all time. But anyway, we find out that Barry Allen has access to the Speed Force, and somehow he's able to access that, go back in time, talks to Batman about it, does what he wants anyway, somehow meets himself, and somehow there's not like a rip in time already. Okay? And I really think this is Marvel's fault for bringing in cartoon ethics to, live action movies. I mean, without like any storyline. Because, Disney Marvel is different from comic book Marvel, but yada yada. We'll get into the Marvel reviews way later, even if they're painful. Okay, like I used to love Marvel, but yeah. Anyway, middle of the movie, we find out that he meets the other Barry Allen. Okay, so the other Barry Allen, is just a Barry Allen without powers. He meets him on September 29th, which just so happens, yet again, this wasn't brought up in the Justice League or when we're first introduced to Flash and DCEU. We find out that September 29th is the day that Flash got his powers, yada yada. All the super Flash nerds will get at me later about it's actually brought up in the comic. Okay, so I'm not a Flash fan. Okay, I like the Flash. I think he's cool. I think one of the coolest villains in his rogue gallery is Gorilla Grodd. Jeez, that was a tongue twister for me for some reason at 1:30 a.m. on a Monday morning. But anyway, so yeah, basically getting back to the Flash. Sorry, kind of messed up my own review with my rant on that character, but anyway, he got his powers on September 29th, yada yada yada. We didn't find out that was the, date he got his powers, yada yada. But anyway, so they go to this lab in Center City Research. Super original name, by the way, not. Thanks for DC Comics. But anyway, he gets struck by lightning, and I guess the lightning is not how he gets his powers. He gets it through chemicals spilling on him, yada yada. So this is kind of an origin story for the Flash that I really feel that was done way too late. But anyway, way too late in the DCEU timeline. This movie should not have been made in 2023, and I think really everybody uses the Ezra Miller excuse for the reason that there was reshoots and all that shit. I mean, sorry, this is my first review, but anyway. Oh man, this movie gets confusing. So, in the middle, which they kind of drag on for a little bit, Barry, okay, kind of try to find the rest of the Justice League. They completely just look over Cyborg, okay? Oh, yeah, I forgot Cyborg was in the DCEU, so ditto. I looked over Cyborg too. But anyway, um, they completely look over Cyborg in their search for the rest of the Justice League. They're basically like, oh yeah, Cyborg isn't Cyborg yet, so we can't use him. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, okay, cool, I guess. And then Wonder Woman, they don't really find out. Like, they try to find her, but they don't find the right Wonder Woman. So, like, they find an old lady that's a circus performer as the Wonder Woman, but, they don't find, Diana. And somebody's going to tell me the last name in the comments or later on once I publish this review. But I don't know her last name, so we're just going to say Diana, Wonder Woman, whatever. But, so they don't find, Wonder Woman. They don't find her at all. So then they find out that there is a Batman out there, not Ben Affleck Batman, but there's a Batman, There's Michael Keaton Batman, I guess, so they find him with a beard and yada yada. They somehow convince him that it's time to get back in the fight. Like, bitch, he doesn't know you. Like, I don't know, bro. Most of this movie's budget was spent on cameos and like remakes for other heroes. So anyway, bro. Anyway, let's just get on with the review. So they pick Michael Keaton for this Batman to set up for a movie that now they're not going to shoot, which is Batman Beyond, because The Flash did so bad at the box office. Me, I grew up with Batman Beyond, bro, so I would have wanted to see a Terry McGinnis movie. Warner Brothers, you can suck a dick. But anyway, let's get to it. Michael Keaton is playing this Batman, and he played the original Batman back in, the late 80s. So, I mean, I was happy to see him, but they misused the potential for him as Batman. And then we're going to do ending part 1 and ending part 2 because there's a lot going on here. So that's the middle of the movie. Okay. Ending part 1. They find out that there's not a Superman, not a Kal-El, but a Kara, which is Superman's cousin, Supergirl, yada, 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 yada. So they severely fuck this up, dude. And when I say fuck this up, I mean fuck this up. Wasted potential for Supergirl. Okay, I think Supergirl in the DC, shows, not the CW one, not the one that fucking sucks and is for perverts and yada yada. Oh, it's a blonde in a tight uniform, whatever. It made me go retarded just thinking about that show. But I'm saying, the cartoons and shit, yada yada yada. Okay, date me on my references, but fuck off. Anyway, they severely underused Batman for one, because he is the original Batman, so I thought there was gonna be more storyline to it. And then Supergirl, bro, it's I can't even get into Supergirl because the movie, whoever directed this movie, man, I really want to look it up. If it's Joss Whedon, dude, I'm going to laugh my ass off. But oh, bro, whoever directed this movie really wanted Supergirl to be the new Superman, yada yada, whatever. So I mean, it's not that okay, hashtag build better female heroes, bro. There are some dope ass ones. Okay, Miss Marvel is not one of them. Okay, but like some cool female superheroes in my mind. Okay, we're just gonna go there. Power Girl's pretty legit. To be honest, bro, I think, like, so if we're going, let's just stay DC because I'm thinking about the X-Men right now, but let's just stay DC. Starfire, that would be an interesting movie to watch. Raven, kind of not really. I mean, like, we all have that gothic girl crush, but that would kind of be a boring movie, man. If they made it into a horror movie, then I could have seen that, but you know what I'm saying? Anyway, so Starfire, Zatanna, which I know Zatanna is like kind of an anti-hero, but pretty cool. And then I'm trying to think of a female hero though. Hawk Girl is pretty cool. I mean, that's a female superhero, and I know a lot of people are going to say, why didn't you choose Wonder Woman? Because Wonder Woman's gay. Okay, like, like, okay. Like, bro, like, she's like the staple of what every female superhero should be, and I don't really think that she's that original. So, getting back to Supergirl, okay? They really misuse this almost at every opportunity. They want you to know that she's just like Superman and that she could be better. So, anyway, she's probably in the suit, I want to say, not even, no, probably 7 minutes. Maybe not even that, bro. Like, I don't really know what they tried to do with this movie and this girl and the haircut. It was just, there's so much in the first part of the end of the movie that's like, what the fuck? Like, like, you have to think, like, you're like, this is a Flash movie. But, oh man, I'm gonna bring it up. They did the same thing that they did with Batman vs. Superman 2016. They're doing it in this movie. Like, I can't even say it correctly. So anyway, you think she's gonna beat Zod. She doesn't end up beating Zod. Yada, 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 yada. Okay? So, side note, this is for ending part 2. Okay? We find out near the end of the middle of the movie that I guess Barry can go back in time and yada yada. There's 2 Barrys. Both of the Barrys can go back in time, but one of the Barrys, when he got his powers by the electricity, right? The second Barry, when he got his powers by the electricity, somehow the first Barry lost his powers. I know it sounds confusing, but this is literally the fucking movie. It is so weird that I can't, bro. Okay, we're gonna skip over that part. Anyway, second Barry, in the final fight, during the ending part 2, okay, finds out that he can do the same thing and basically go through different timelines. Okay, so where the movie was originally about saving the mom, who's somehow Latina, okay, when the character's name is Barry Allen, and, Ezra Miller doesn't really ring Latino to me. But anyway, where the movie was originally about saving the mom, now we have random heroes. Okay, we have basically our B-list heroes. Okay, we basically have a bad version of Justice League, Two Worlds Collide, if you've ever seen that movie. It came out in 2008, yada yada. Another DC, cartoon film that I grew up with. Stop it while you're ahead, Vampire Jack. But anyway, God, they so misuse everything in this movie near the final act too, which is kind of stupid. Anyway, so Barry, yeah, both Barry Allens are fucking idiots. Okay, the second Barry Allen is like, he wants to be a superhero for a second. And he's like, oh yeah, I can fix this. You said I was a superhero. So he goes back and fixes it. It makes like 30 different timelines. Okay? And then he's there arguing with the original Barry Allen, the original Flash. He's like, oh yeah, you told me that I could be the Flash. So I am the Flash. Yada, yada, yada. And then there's somebody who you think is gonna be, like Godspeed, or not Godspeed, but dude, I'm forgetting his name. I'm not re-editing this audio so I could put his name in there. Sorry, I'm not a Flash fan, but I know he's not Godspeed. He's Saltaire or something. He's like, dude, he's basically the negative version of the Speed Force. Yada yada. How do I know this? Because I watched the Speed... I watched the Flash CW show. Okay? And yada yada. Basically, when I was on my surgeries for my legs, I watched the Flash CW show. And I kind of cheated to get ahead, so I watched the YouTube reviews of Season 5, Season 7, yada, yada, yada. Okay. But anyway, yeah, there's now 3 Flashes in this movie. When it's called The Flash. Okay, when it's supposed to be about one Flash saving his mother, getting back to the original timeline because he realized that he fucked it up. Yada, yada. DCEU is trying way too hard to be Marvel, and I guess that's why they hired James Gunn, because James Gunn was the only person from Marvel, funny enough, that made Guardians of the Galaxy, that knows how to make a good DC show or film, like James Gunn's Suicide Squad, not Joss Whedon's Suicide Squad. That shit sucked. Okay, like a grandma dying on a G-tube sucked. Okay? It sucked all the nutrients out of me, bro. Like, you stomach pumped my shit. Okay, for real. Okay. Anyway, James Gunn's Suicide Squad, which now I have to do a review on. I'm probably going to do a review on both of them. Okay? Anyway, that was real good. So, basically, motherfucking... just don't watch this movie, okay? It is so confusing. I know this is supposed to be a Flash review, but honestly, the Flash sucked. Okay? I shouldn't have waited for this movie. I got baited just like everybody else, just because Michael Keaton was coming back, just because they teased, yada yada. Oh, if Black Adam does good, which it didn't. And I haven't seen Black Adam yet, honestly, I know, but I watched the reviews. Okay, I'm not gonna waste my money on this shit, especially when I can, just watch it when it comes out on stream. But anyway, I'm such a hypocrite now. But anyway, yeah, bro, Black Adam sucks, this sucks. They were supposed to make a whole DC EU universe. Please don't watch this movie. Save yourself 2 hours. Like, it's really confusing. Like, this movie, like, never stops. Anyway, to sum it up, Supergirl dies, Batman dies, second Barry tries to go and save them, ends up becoming a bad guy. The only way to beat third Barry is, third Satyr, Barry, yada yada, wannabe Zoom, yada yada. The way to beat the evil Barry that comes in literally 10 minutes like, before the movie ends, like close to, the only way to beat him is to sacrifice Second Barry, and Second Barry was just an annoying version of the Flash. Like, I really don't believe that this nigga was really that annoying. Like, I don't know, bro. Like, okay. That has been Vampire Jack's movie review of The Flash by Warner Brothers Studios. I'm glad this is getting trashed. Do you hear me? I'm glad this is getting trashed, Warner Brothers. James Gunn. You better do us proud as comic book fans, man.